Let's go. Sunday morning. We're here. God, man, this song just hits. Am I crazy? What's up, guys? Please tell me somebody heard that song, right? Please tell me I didn't mess this up. Please. If I mess that up, if I messed up that audio, I swear I'm gonna be upset. I gotta go actually find it now. No song? No. How is that possible? I literally turned. I think I might have to restart the intro now. How did this happen? I literally was playing my intro song. God, I'm so. Oh my God. Scuffed. That's week one. It's scuffed. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is so scuffed. I don't know what happened. How could that be possible? I literally. That is a very interesting. Okay, well, I'm here. Greetings and salutations, guys. I don't know how that happened, but it's very upsetting. There's always week two. That's correct. We'll get better. Okay, we'll get better. It's early. I don't know what happened. I was jamming out to my own song for about a minute and a half there, and nobody was with me. And it feels pretty bad. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a little embarrassed right now. All right, so what are we gonna do today? We got about 2 hours to kick off. News will, as the minutes go by, be released online. I'll try to stay up to date on that kind of stuff. I'll give you guys my thought process going into the week. I do have updated rankings to an extent that I will show you guys in a little bit. I also have my predictions on who's going to win this week. Just straight up wins, not anything spread wise. If you have a spread question, I can answer it, but not very too accurate with that kind of stuff. In terms of picking winners and losers, that's fine, but outside of that, I'm not a genius. Otherwise, I'd be making Vegas bets every damn day, and we'd be good to go. So, a couple more things that I needed to mention. First and foremost, flex questions. Anything flex related, whether it's asking, should I start a running back or a wide receiver? Should I start a tight end or a wide receiver? All of those flex related questions cannot be answered unless they're sent in by donation. Now, let me tell you why. There's already 250 people in here, okay? On top of that, there's going to be too many questions to answer today in just the 2 hours. I'd have to probably sit here for 6 hours to catch everybody's questions. On top of that, flex questions are only answered for Patreon supporters. So if you guys want, you can go join Patreon. I'll be dropping, information there. You can ask me as many questions there as you want, unlimited questions. So Patreon descriptions down in the description of the video for those of you who are interested. I already know we had a couple donations come through, but again, I do have updated rankings that I will show you in a couple seconds, which will kind of clear up a lot of y'all's confusion. Again, we should be good to go. No spamming in the chat. I don't want to see anything too ridiculous. It'll just be banned. It won't be, we won't mess around here. Let me think. Anything else we need to kind of lay out besides smashing the like button? We have 288 of you monsters in here. I mean, for me, I've been up since 6:30. I slept at 4:30. This is a beautiful Sunday. Nothing's slowing me down except for that intro song, mess up right there. That's the only thing a little bit. But there's 300 of you in here, and I don't see about 200 likes in about 2 seconds when I get to my channel page. I'm going to be a little upset. Okay, here we go. I'm going to click the like button. I got it to 93. Now, could we get it to about 200, and then I'll start sharing some updated rankings from the quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and tight end position. That's all I ask. A couple more likes. Let's get it going. Yep, there it is. 150. 158. It's on 74. There it is. Come on, guys. Come on. Man, I can't believe I messed up the intro song. There's a dislike. Beautiful. I love it. I mean, hey, YouTube algorithm doesn't know the difference, so it doesn't make a difference to me. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's show you guys a little bit of the updated, adjusted rankings going into this week. Okay, so like we did all of this week so far, I talked about quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and tight end positions. I talked about it at a top 16 quarterback, top 36 running back, top 36 wide receiver, and top 12 tight end pace. Those are adjusted rankings as of this moment in time. Of course, information could be released. I can change an idea on the spot. Questionable players going into this week. Again, I'm not 100% certain about what's going to happen with Mike Evans, Kenny Golladay, and or Courtland Sutton. I'm going to stay away from those players. You could play them at your own discretion. I personally am going to avoid any sort of risk. As of this moment in time, I feel like my rosters are built enough to be risk averse. I don't really want to have to play a player that has missed multiple practices due to an injury. I know a lot of these players are game time decisions and are doubtful / questionable going into this week, so I'm going to try to avoid them as much as possible. Now, hopefully, everything on screen answers your questions. If it does not answer your question, again, like it says right here, only answering flex questions via donation and or Patreon users. So hopefully this answers it. Teams that I think are going to win, right there. I already, told everybody on the Thursday tight end video that the Chiefs would win. I didn't think they'd win by 14, but hey, or whatever it was, 13, 14. But hey, pretty significant margin to say the least. All right, let's go ahead. Let me hop into this chat. We had a couple donations from JK. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Says Deshaun Jackson or Gurley in the flex in a full PPR. That's a good question. At this moment in time, I think Deshaun Jackson has a pretty safe floor of catches, even with Jalen Reagor coming back. Reagor's still dealing with that labrum injury, which at any moment can just knock him out. He's going to require surgery. So I think Deshaun Jackson's at a pretty good spot right now. In comparison to Gurley, Gurley's obviously going to get more touches, but in the passing game, how much work is he going to get? We have yet to see, what this team wants to do with Gurley, how they want to utilize him as much as possible. So it's pretty tough. If Deshaun Jackson doesn't score a touchdown, it's going to be all Gurley. So if you're looking for the safety of a flex, you go Gurley here. If you're looking to try to get a high upside, if you're playing against someone who's already scored big from Thursday night, then you can play Deshaun Jackson. If it's 0-0, I'm probably playing my stud Gurley. I drafted him to fit him in that spot for a reason, and I'd probably put him there this week. Let's see here. Alfredo with the donation. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Pick 2, Preston Williams, Jarvis Landry, John Brown, Judy, and Miller. So I'm assuming it's Anthony Miller. If that's the case, then we're going Jarvis Landry and Anthony Miller as it says on screen. Again, I'm just showing what is here because on screen it should help you guys. So hopefully it does. If it doesn't, then we move on. All right, let's see here. Another donation came through from Big Dog. I really appreciate that. It says start 2, wide receiver Evans, Diggs, Marquise Brown, Keenan Allen, Kupp, Edelman. Yeah, guys, I'm telling you. Hey, really quickly, okay? On screen, the rankings are there. If you ask me a question that's not flex related, it doesn't have to come through. Like, it's literally on screen. I literally, before I got on, updated the rankings that are surrounding me. So, Big Dog, I really do appreciate that donation. $5, you add another $5 on that. That's a month of Patreon support, Discord server, unlimited questions, updated rankings for the flex, all that kind of stuff. But either way, just putting it out there. To answer your question, you have Diggs, Marquise Brown, Keenan Allen, Kupp, Edelman. And then you have Evans. Evans I'm avoiding at all costs, especially with the amount of depth you have a wide receiver. As of right now, looking at the talent you have, I'm probably going with Keenan Allen and Cooper Kupp this week. Even though I really do like Diggs and Marquise Brown. Again, Marquise Brown takes on a Cleveland secondary that is absolutely depleted. They're going to be missing Greedy Williams, Johnson, and obviously they lost Grant Delpit, their safety rookie, this offseason, so that's going to hurt. So, yeah. Thank you for the donation. Appreciate it very much. Moving on. Let's see here. ENG the Gamer says, Sutton is out, so A.J. Brown, Marvin Jones, or Edelman as my wide receiver 2, and or Bell or A.J. Brown for the flex. Okay, so I would play... That's a pretty good question. Look, here's the thing, guys. Make sure you send in what scoring format you're playing in terms of, especially for this question. I'm not sure what the format is. Let's say it's half PPR, for example, just to kind of meet it in the middle. At this moment in time, if I have to play between A.J. Brown, Marvin Jones, Edelman, and Le'Veon Bell at the flex position, I'm probably playing Marvin Jones there, and I'm probably playing A.J. Brown at your wide receiver 2 slot. I'm probably leaving Bell on the bench. I'm not sure how much of a high upside touchdown play he has today. I mean, he probably will catch the ball 5 times for 40 some odd yards. Get a little bit of work on the ground, but again, they play against Buffalo. It's going to be a tougher matchup. A little bit of weather concerns there, so I'm probably going with A.J. Brown and Marvin Jones there. Appreciate the donation. Sergio with the donation says Terry McLaurin or Boston Scott flex PPR. All right. Oh man, I kind of want to lean with Boston Scott here. Hopefully many of you have already heard Miles Sanders is not playing this week. If that's the case and you haven't heard that, well, you better hope that you go and find Boston Scott on your flex or on your waivers, because my goodness, he's going to be a pretty good play this week. I think with what Boston Scott produced last year, the last 4 games of the season, caught the ball about 5 times a game, even with Miles Sanders in the backfield. Had over 199 receiving yards, 4 touchdowns in those last 4 weeks. Was averaging a good amount of points in that offense. So I'm assuming he's taking the lead back role against the Washington football team. And in that case, it's probably going to have a pretty good opportunity here. So in a PPR, he'll probably catch the ball at least 5 times, on top of the fact that he'll get 40 some odd receiving yards, maybe 40, 50, 60 rushing yards. So could break 100, and then always will have the upside of that touchdown in comparison. I'm probably leaning towards Boston Scott there. I really do like McLaurin, as you can see from my rankings. I just prefer the safety and touches of a Boston Scott this week. But again, guys, listen, that could be considered getting a little cute, right? Even then, we've got to play our studs this week. Let's not forget it, okay? Let's not overthink sometimes. But I would personally play Boston Scott there. Like, I'm playing Boston Scott over T.Y. Hilton in my own home league at the flex today, because I'm pretty comfortable with that and his upside. All right, Antonio with the donation says, Stafford or Wentz, Gurley or Juju in the flex. Okay. I'd play Wentz over Stafford. Losing Galladay is definitely going to hurt in terms of his overall productivity. And then I think one of their starting offensive guard is also out today, so the pass rush is definitely going to get there eventually. Between Juju and Gurley, I'm going with Juju at the flex in a PPR. Thank you for the donation. I really do appreciate it. Connor Lambert with the donation says, Sup, GOAT. I'm not the GOAT, but okay. Love the channel. Appreciate it. What are the odds that Kendrick Bourne goes off today? Again, just like every other hidden gems are probably okay. Oh yeah, okay. I'll get to that in a second. Hidden gems are probably hit or miss on purpose, because they are players that are not widely owned, not widely played. They're more or less guys that I want you to keep an eye on for the coming weeks, because if in fact they do go off this week and you had them on your bench, then you don't really have to waste a waiver wire ad the following day regardless. But yeah, the odds that he goes off, I mean, there's no Debo in that offense, sure. They're going to run the ball with Raheem Mostert as much as they possibly can, give the ball to Kittle. But outside of that, they're most likely going to feed Kendrick Bourne the ball. Typically down on the goal line, he could score a touchdown. He'll probably score 10 points by the end of the week. Best worst case scenario. He's a 10-point kind of guy. So he's pretty much a fill-in if in fact, stuff has kind of gone wrong. Okay. So here's my question, guys. Because I have a question for you, because there's a lot of people in the chat, and I really do appreciate you guys coming out. 600 people exactly, right? So let's try to get that like button up as much as possible. We're at 240 or at 261 right now. There's 600 of you guys in here. So if we can launch that number up, that would be absolutely fantastic. I'm going to keep going to these donations that were sent in really quickly, guys. You got to make sure that when you ask a question, it's going to be on screen. Like I'm looking at a lot of your questions actually. Chark over Marvin Jones, question mark. I don't know if that's a question, but if it says it on screen, then that's what I'm going with. I mean, I saw a question which was Cam or Matt Ryan. I'm pretty sure on my screen, I've got Matt Ryan over Cam Newton. So I'd probably play him over Cam Newton. So everything behind me is literally up to date. I literally just put it in and fixed it this morning. So if you have a question about it, can't do anything about that. But those are my rankings, guys. I know a lot of you are rabid for accurate rankings. Those are accurate. I can promise you that. Anyway, moving on to a couple more donations. Moby1 Kenobi, Martin, I appreciate the donation. You really don't have to. You got to stop doing this. Thank you very much, though. It says PPR, Deshaun Jackson, James White, and the flex. Just want to hear you work it through again. Okay. Deshaun Jackson has the higher ceiling, far and away, because of his potential against the Washington football team. If, in fact, you need a player that's going to score upwards of 20 points, then Deshaun Jackson is probably a guy that you want to put in as a wide receiver 3 option this week and or flex, especially in a full PPR. But when we talk about what James White is probably going to be in line for in comparison, it's similar to that Boston Scott kind of range because Sony Michel is still working back from that injury and because Cam Newton wants to dump the ball to James White, similar to how he did with Christian McCaffrey. So if James White ends up catching the ball 6 times, 7 times today, I won't even be surprised, on top of the fact that he's probably still going to get work in the running game. He has the safer floor of production in comparison because, again, James White is at very minimum in a PPR league, like a 13-point guy, worst case scenario. Because I think, what was it, in his games last year, in his 15 games, I think he had 10 plus points 12 times, 13 times. So he's always going to be 10 plus points. He's got that floor of production. If we see anything more in terms of opportunity because of the game script and or touchdown upside, then he ends up getting into that range of where he's even more viable than the Deshaun Jackson. So that's my thought process. That's why I've kind of leaned towards James White as of late over Deshaun Jackson. But again, if you want the high upside, Jackson is still there. Roshi with the donation. I appreciate the donation. There wasn't really a message attached to it, so I don't see one attached to it. Make sure you guys attach questions if they're supposed to be there. Just putting it out there. All right, moving on. Colin Roberts, donation. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Which one did you start? Jerry Jeudy, Tyler Boyd, Ronald Jones, or CeeDee Lamb? I'd start Tyler Boyd this week over the bunch of them. It's not even close in my eyes. I really do like Tyler Boyd in comparison to the others you named. So that's my suggestion, Colin. Thank you for the donation. Xavier with the donation says, start at the flex, Montgomery, Slayton, or TJ Hawkinson. Okay, so I think David Montgomery's probably going to play in full today. He practiced Thursday and Friday in full. The Lions defense is not that good at stopping the run. They have a couple pieces here and there that they've brought in, but I don't think it's going to make that big of a difference in comparison to the other guys. Hawkinson's really going to rely on touchdowns this week. And that in itself, I don't really want to put at the flex position if I'm really relying on touchdowns. Slayton against Pittsburgh, I don't really want to wait for that either. I'd probably just play Montgomery this week. Xavier, thank you for the donation. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Again, listen. We got 300 likes on the video, and there's 660 of you. Come on, guys. 687 of you. We got to move that up. That like button's got to start getting clicked, guys. We got to start moving it. Jason Burke with a donation says, Jonathan Taylor or Deshaun Jackson this week, half PPR. It's kind of, I was going to say it's kind of similar to James White versus Deshaun Jackson, ever so slightly. I think Jonathan Taylor's entire production this week is the hope that in the second half he's running loose on a Jacksonville defense that can't stop a soul. That's the hope. So at this moment in time, I'm thinking to myself, is Deshaun Jackson a better play than Jonathan? No, I'd probably play the running back. I like Deshaun Jackson a lot this week. As you can see from the rankings literally behind me, I like him a lot this week. What do I have him at? I have him at number 23 wide receiver. So he's moving. He's probably up there. So at this moment in time, this is half PPR, but yeah, that's what you're asking for. Jonathan Taylor or Deshaun Jackson. If in a flex position, I'd probably play Jonathan Taylor over Deshaun Jackson this week. Talking Football Donation says, Boston Scott or Raheem Mostert in a full PPR. It's Boston Scott in a full PPR. That's for sure. That one's quick because I have that on screen in my rankings for full PPR that I'm setting up for Patreon right now. Mr. Panda Wanda with a donation, thank you very much, says Parker, Chark, Thielen, James Conner need 2. All right, cool. I think of the group, I don't know what your scoring format is, but Of the group, I'm probably going with James Conner against the New York Giants. And then after that, I'm probably playing Thielen against the Green Bay Packers. The third option of the group is probably Chark. I'm not really interested in playing Parker out of the group that you mentioned, but I'm probably going Conner, Thielen, and then Chark. Thank you for the donation. Appreciate it. Zelda says, starting Metcalf and Deshaun Jackson, Boyd or Crowder at the flex in a full PPR. Boyd and Crowder seem like very similar plays in my eyes. They're both slot wide receivers that are probably going to see 7-8 targets today. They both have similar touchdown upside. I just think that the overall matchup for Boyd is a lot more difficult. If we remember last season, week 1, for the Jets, they played against the Bills, and Crowder had 14 catches on 17 targets. If that is a very close possibility, then there is a chance that Crowder has a better game this week, and that's why I've kind of lipped him over the edge. That's why I have Crowder at 31 below and Tyler Boyd at 32. So I'm leaning in the direction of Crowder, but again, they're so close in my rankings that you could play either one. I think they'll probably have similar production. We're looking for that random touchdown. And who has it between the two of them is really a toss-up there. But I appreciate the donation, Zelda. I'd probably go with Crowder. Nintendo with a donation says, here we go. Where the heck did it go? James White, DK Metcalf, full PPR. Good question. In a full PPR, DK Metcalf is a little bit lower in terms of value. I'd probably go with James White there. Again, yeah. I'm probably still leaning James White in that vicinity. Again, these like lower end wide receiver 2s in comparison to the low end running back 2s. But in a full PPR, James White in comparison to rankings, jumps a little bit over the guys that are in front of him right now in the half PPR rankings. But yeah, I'd probably go with James White there over DK Metcalf. Again, DK Metcalf has the upside, has the touchdown upside, especially. Last time he played against Atlanta, scored twice. So he will always have that upside there. I'm just looking for who has the safest floor. I think James White could easily get 13 to 16 as just a normal day here, even without scoring a touchdown. So that's why I kind of lean in that direction. Thank you for the donation. Jonah says Melvin Gordon, Marvin Jones, T.Y. Hilton, Deshaun Jackson in a PPR. Yeah, PPR, full PPR. Need one. Yeah, of the group, I'm probably going with Marvin Jones. I think with Kenny Golladay most likely missing today, and even if he plays, Kenny Golladay is going to be a distraction, try to pull coverage away from Marvin Jones. So I'm leaning towards Marvin Jones there, even over Melvin Gordon. So yeah, that's my suggestion. I appreciate the donation. Thank you very much, Jonah. Sergio says Eric Ebron and Jonnu Smith. Between the two, I'm probably going Eric Ebron. Has a higher touchdown upside. Honestly, that offense passes the ball more. So I'm more likely to kind of lean in that direction. Anthony Aguilar with the donation. Appreciate it. There wasn't really a message attached to it. Just so make sure you guys attach messages. I don't know if you had one. If it's just a donation, I appreciate it regardless. Let's see here. Moving on. Nel Santiago with the donation. Thank you very much. In a tough spot, Mayfield or Daniel Jones starting against... So Mayfield or Daniel Jones starting against the Steelers. I think Mayfield's probably the better play. I think both of them are going to be in tough matchups. I just think Mayfield will probably... I'm going Mayfield. Yeah. He's higher in my rankings. And at this point, I don't really want to worry about a Monday night game. If anything, I just want it over with today. I think Mayfield has a better receiving core. And hopefully this offense that we'll see with what Stefanski has put together will help Mayfield just be a better quarterback, like how Kirk Cousins took that next step up in terms of efficiency and not turning over the ball. Let's see here. Kicks with a donation says, AJ Brown or Scott? A lot of these Boston Scott questions, huh? Boston Scott or AJ Brown? Dude, Boston Scott's I just feel like Boston Scott is so safe. In comparison to all these receivers, he's a very safe play this week. You could just toss him in there and he'll probably score 13 plus points minimum. And then he always will have that upside. Actually, in a half PPR, 13 plus points. If it's a full PPR, he's going to break 15 at least. And then he has the upside of that touchdown to break 20. So in comparison to an AJ Brown against Denver, I think, of course, like all these other wide receivers that I've mentioned, they have a higher upside, but I like the safe floor of Boston Scott as of this week, as of right now. Badass Texan with a donation, thank you very much. It says Marlon Mack or Deshaun Jackson full PPR. Yeah, in a full PPR, Marlon Mack gets no usage. So that's when I start leaning towards Deshaun Jackson. Because if Marlon Mack doesn't score a touchdown, sure, he could have a 100-yard rushing game. Okay, that's 10 points. If he doesn't get that touchdown, doesn't lip him over that edge to that 16 range into the top 15 running back conversation, that's when Deshaun Jackson just starts taking over in my eyes. So I'd probably lean in Deshaun Jackson's favor in a full PPR there, Badass Texan. Appreciate the donation. PT Morris says, Keenan Allen or Raheem Mostert? In a half PPR, I think I'm going with Keenan Allen, but if in fact Tevin Coleman doesn't play today, which he's questionable, I think he's questionable, because I think Raheem Mostert most likely is touching the ball 25 times today, and that kind of that's kind of where I'm. Let me see here. Tevin Coleman will play against the Arizona. Yeah, Tevin Coleman's going to be very limited today. I'm probably firing up Raheem Mostert in that situation because of his whole sickle cell and the air conditions in California right now. They're probably going to limit him as much as possible. So I think it's just going to be a Raheem Mostert day. So we'll lean in that direction as of this moment. Greg Lira with the donation says, pick a flex, Jordan Howard, Ruggs, or Judy. In a half PPR, I'm probably going with Henry Ruggs this week against Carolina. Howard probably got some pretty good value, but I mean, how much Jordan? I mean, unless Jordan Howard falls in the end zone by luck, by chance, I don't know if there's going to be much there. I know Brian Edwards was popped up on the injury report with a knee injury. I think Henry Ruggs probably going to dominate the secondary of Carolina. They got rid of James Bradbury, so they don't really have a number one corner that's, of decent, I guess, coverage skills. I'm sure they've got somebody there. It's just I don't think he'll be worth jack when he's guarding against Henry Ruggs. So that's my suggestion there, Greg. Anthony with the donation, thank you very much again. I appreciate that. Starting Deshaun Jackson over OBJ, a good move, full PPR. Honestly, it just depends on where you see the game script going. I personally prefer it. OBJ, in my opinion, has got some risk attached to him here and there. I know he's healthy this year. I know the game script's probably going to be against them, so it's probably going to lean us towards seeing him catch more passes or get more targets. But again, he probably has far better coverage against them. What is it? Marcus Peters, Marlon Humphreys. So that in itself kind of leans me away. Again, it just depends on how this game script goes. I think Deshaun Jackson, regardless of game script, is going to be utilized because he's the only wide receiver that I know. Jalen Reagor is healthy, but it's going to go in the direction of Deshaun Jackson a lot today. So that's where I'm leaning in a full PPR. You don't have to. Again, they're pretty close in my rankings. So if you want to lean towards OBJ, you lean towards them and you're good to go. But again, appreciate the donation. I'm going D-Jacks there. Jason Bell with the donation says half PPR replacement for Golladay. Bourne, Ruggs, Reagor. Yeah, I'd probably play a Henry Ruggs. Thoughts on Boston Scott as a flex? I'm perfectly fine with Boston Scott at the flex. Like I've mentioned a couple times earlier, I honestly think he's a godsend for many of you who were quick on picking him up as of right now. So he's going to be a pretty good player in this week against the Washington football team. Let's see our next question. Flex PPR league Bart. Okay, Boston Scott, not Bart Scott. Okay. For Philadelphia or Kerryon Johnson. Yeah, in a flex PPR, I'm playing Boston Scott over Kerryon Johnson 100%. No question about it. Appreciate the donation. Trying to catch up here, guys. All right. Chris says, I don't trust the Lions passing game without Golladay. Okay, 100% understood. Would you feel confident enough to start Tyrod, or are there other high upside quarterbacks this week? The quarterbacks that are on screen right now in the top 16, those are the guys that I trust. If in fact nothing's available there and you still want to avoid Matthew Stafford, that's fine. You can play Tyrod. I think they probably score similar points this week. I think Tyrod's rushing ability will probably get him on that level until where The other guys are Mike Williams is playing today, so they have another deep threat option there. So again, if you want to play Tyrod, you can. Otherwise, I think Matthew Stafford's still a safe play relatively in comparison. But again, they're probably going to score some similar points. What the heck is that? Yeah, Kenny Golladay officially inactive as of right now. Just putting it out there. Bobby Ritchie with the donation, really appreciate it. There wasn't a message attached, but I appreciate the donation regardless. Jordan Caba says half PPR flex spot: Le'Veon Bell, Chark, White, Crowder, Devontae Parker. Do you think T.Y. Taylor is gonna? You mean Jonathan Taylor is going to run like he used to? T.Y. Taylor is gonna run like he. What do you mean he used to? T.Y. Hilton? T.Y. Interesting question. There's a lot to decode here, but I can answer the first couple. You were saying flex either between Chark, James White, Crowder, Devontae Parker, or Le'Veon Bell in a half PPR. I'm probably playing Chark there above all those guys. Do you think T.Y. Taylor is going to run like he used to? That is a tough question, and I don't know how to answer that, so we'll just skip that. You had another question. You said Goff or Taylor. What do you Goff or Taylor? I don't understand that. What do you mean? Are you playing a super flex? If you're playing a super flex, you're playing a second quarterback. You're playing Goff. So just to kind of answer that. Moving on. Let's see here. Yudino Geo says flex AJ Brown or Todd Gurley. Also Boston Scott or Todd Gurley. Full PPR settings. Love the content, Andrew. Much love. Thank you very much. Appreciate the donation. As of this moment in time, if it's a full PPR and we're trying to fill out. Okay, so in a full PPR, I'm probably trying. What the heck was that? All right, cool. By the way, guys, there's 770 of you. We're almost at 500 likes. Let's try to eclipse that part right there. I appreciate it, guys. I mean, I'm just trying to catch up with donations, and it's hard to answer your questions. Like, honestly, it's kind of overwhelming to an extent. So I appreciate you guys showing up today. Hopefully the rankings that are on screen help you guys out for today, regardless. Let's see here. Let's see here. Okay, so the question I was answering. Geo sent in a donation, said flex AJ Brown or okay, PPR. Okay, so I have a couple trains of thought here. In a full PPR, I think Boston Scott's probably a little bit more valuable than Todd Gurley. AJ Brown is probably in that realm of potentially being more valuable than both of them, but he's also got the high risk. I think if you have Boston Scott and Todd Gurley and you can play them both, I think that's not a bad idea. I think there's so much safety in those two plays in comparison to AJ Brown. Like AJ Brown last year, his best performance was like a 2-touchdown catch game. If he ends up doing that against Denver, I'd be surprised. I think he's probably in line for 15 points, but I think you can easily find that in Gurley and Scott in a full PPR this week. I think they're very capable. If I had to 100% start AJ Brown regardless, I'd probably start Scott over Gurley. But I'm honestly suggesting that you start both Gurley and Scott this week. Appreciate the donation. It's surprising how you guys get so many good players and aren't able to start them. Like this next question from West, thank you very much. Appreciate the donation. It says standard flex. Chark, Deshaun Jackson, Gibson. Okay, that's James Robinson, James White. In a standard league, I'm probably playing Chark, and then I'm playing Deshaun Jackson, and then I'm leaving the rest on my bench. But yeah, if I had that kind of stuff on my bench, I'd be clean. I don't mind having Deshaun Jackson, Chark, and White as my weekly. Okay, I got to decide who's flexing because that's pretty good options there. But yeah, I'm playing Chark and Deshaun Jackson. Appreciate it, West. Brian R says Marlon Mack or Edelman. If it's a full PPR, I think Edelman's probably a decent play. In a half PPR standard, we go Marlon Mack. Appreciate the donation. Vital Homicide says flex Boyd, Mostert, or Landry. We're playing Mostert over Boyd and Landry. Appreciate it. Chapstick 1889 says Gesicki or Doyle. Oh wow, that's a good question. I think Gesicki with Fitzpatrick at quarterback is probably going to be a good value play this week. I know he's not in my top 12. I think he could probably end up in the top 12 if he catches 5-6 catches. He's deep. I mean, he plays in the slot so often. Gesicki's an interesting play. I probably go with, oh man. Okay. So I think Jack Doyle's a safer play. I think Rivers is going to feed his tight end. I think that Jack Doyle can easily catch the ball 5 times for 55 yards. If that's the kind of production you're looking for, you put him in. I think Gesicki has a higher ceiling of production. He's probably more volatile and probably less safe in comparison, but I think he's got the higher possibility of scoring a touchdown and or having a better performance. I'm kind of willing to take that risk this week in my mind. But if you want the safe tight end play, you go with Doyle. Appreciate the donation. Richard Q sent a donation, says message was retracted. So I don't know what happened there. Appreciate the donation. Oh my God, I'm trying to catch up. There's so effing many. Okay, here we go. Justin with a donation says, hey man, how does Devontae Parker do against Gilmore? Okay, so here's the thing. As of this moment in time, Gilmore's probably going to be on him. They're both dealing with hamstring injuries. They're both probably going to they're probably both going to play the entire game. I don't think that they'll be limited. I'm just worried about Parker and Gilmore. I mean, again, they could probably double cover Parker the entire game and get away with it. I don't know why they don't choose to do that as often. I was watching a little bit of film from week 17 of last year. They just play a man up. I mean, they just literally man coverage him the whole time. Honestly, Parker's probably going to be okay because he's going to get so many targets. If he gets 10 plus targets, I'm not going to be surprised because who else is Fitzpatrick going to throw the ball to? Gesicki, of course. Preston Williams, if he's, able to get off coverage of McCourty or whatever. But I mean, Parker will probably be decent. He'll probably catch one deep ball, has the upside of, being able to score, but I'm still a little concerned about the matchup. That's why he's so low on my current rankings, but that's my thought process right now. Ryan with the donation says, love the content. I've become a consistent watcher as of late. Appreciate that. Chris Thompson, a top 20 RB in a full PPR. Let's go find my PPR rankings. Give me a second here. Is he a top 20 RB in a full PPR? I don't think he's a top 20 RB. No. I think he'll catch the ball 6 times today for 60 some odd yards. But is he a top 20 with 12 points there? No, I don't think so. But I think he's in a full PPR going to get 10 plus points very easily, to say the least. Appreciate the donation, Ryan. Dav King says, how should I drop Akers or Antonio Gibson for Devontae Parker or Noah Fant? I have Hayden Hurst as my starter. No, I like Hayden Hurst this week. As for should you drop Cam Akers or Antonio Gibson for Devontae Parker? If Devontae Parker is available on your waivers, I try to drop a wide receiver for him because I like Akers and or Gibson in the long run. I don't really want to drop RB depth for Parker. So if you can go ahead and drop a wide receiver there, that wouldn't be bad because Parker's going to eventually be in this top 24 conversation every single week from here on out after this week, in my opinion. So especially when he's healthy and he's practicing in full every week. But yeah. Moving on. Appreciate the donation. Renee Gone 116. Appreciate the donation. There wasn't a message attached to it. Global Travel says flex. John Brown, Emmanuel Sanders, Deontay Johnson, Christian Kirk, PPR. I'm currently having Keenan Allen and Sterling Shepard start. Okay. Between the rest of them, I'm probably playing Deontay Johnson over Emmanuel Sanders, Christian Kirk, and John Brown in a full PPR setting. So yeah, Deontay Johnson's my suggestion. Global Travel. Michael with the donation says full PPR Allen, Diggs, or Jonathan Taylor. I'm probably playing Keenan Allen there. Yeah, I'd go with Keenan Allen in this specific scenario in a full PPR. Juan with the donation says Keenan Allen or Lockett, Goddard or Hooper. I'm probably playing Goddard and I'm playing Keenan Allen. Appreciate the donation. Richard Q says half PPR. Chubb, Ridley, in my flex. Sorry, both 13. No, you're chilling. You're chilling. In a half PPR, I'm probably leaning with Chubb. I know Chubb's probably got the tougher matchup in comparison, but I have a hard time not playing Chubb. Like, I have to play him this week, regardless. He could be playing against the greatest defense of all time. I'm still playing Chubb because I drafted him, first, second round. So, yeah, Chubb is my suggestion there, Richard. You got to play your studs. Luis with another question says, Cohen or Singletary in a full PPR? I'm probably playing Singletary in a full PPR. I think Cohen could probably catch the ball 6 times today. With Montgomery coming back, I think there's a little bit less opportunity for him to get that rushing touchdown that I could have potentially seen him getting. So I'm probably leaning with Singletary in this scenario. Appreciate the donation, Luis. Josh says Melvin Gordon or T.Y. Hilton in a half PPR. Against Tennessee's defense. Where's my flex rankings? Give me a second. I got to go find it real quick. Half PPR, flex. Melvin Gordon. Yeah, I'm playing Melvin Gordon over T.Y. Hilton. I appreciate the donation. Thank you very much. Josh Bell with another donation says Hawkinson or Ingram. Half PPR, I'm playing Ingram. Yep. If you want to play Hawkinson, you can, but I'm playing Evan Ingram. I think he'll get a pretty good amount of targets tomorrow on Monday Night Football against Pittsburgh, especially when they're down in the game scripts in that kind of direction. They're going to have to dig themselves out, and I think Ingram's a good part of that. High, full PPR, flex, Jonathan Taylor, Anthony Miller, Deontay Johnson. I'm probably still playing Jonathan Taylor. Yeah, in the flex position, I'm playing Jonathan Taylor there. I appreciate the donation. Let's see here. 122095 says Ruggs or Marquise Brown based on matchup half PPR. I'm playing Marquise Brown. The Brown secondary is completely just destroyed from injury. So that's going to be a pretty easy matchup for him. He could have another week 1 from last year kind of pop off again. Ryan with the donation, appreciate that. There wasn't a message attached. Hutch with the donation, appreciate it with the sunglasses, looking cool. Let's see here. Another question came in. I'm in a bit of a dilemma, half PPR league. Who should I start as my running back to? Melvin Gordon, James White, Mark Ingram. I play Mark Ingram easily. It's no hesitation there. White Rhino 31 says, greetings, Andrew. Do a great job. Appreciate the efforts. Your thoughts on Ebron at the flex? Standard format options are AJ Green and Ruggs. I probably play AJ Green. I think AJ Green probably has more opportunity to see the ball today in comparison to an Ebron. Ebron obviously always has that opportunity for a touchdown, but I prefer just playing an AJ Green. I know you want to stay away from him because of what he's been in the past in terms of injuries, but I think as of right now, it's probably better to just kind of roll out AJ Green. That's just my thought process. Ryan MC with the donation says, do you think Ty Johnson will run like he... What do you mean Ty Johnson? I don't understand this. Who the heck is Ty Johnson? T.Y. Johnson? Goff or Doyle? You're playing Goff over Doyle. Hello? If it's a super flex, you're playing the quarterback, Ryan. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Ty Johnson, from my recollection, was a running back for the Lions last year. Shouldn't be playing for the Lions this year because of how many running backs they have. What? Adrian Peterson, DeAndre Swift, and Kerryon Johnson. So, yeah, I think you keep messing up the name. I don't know what's going on, but either way. And you also said one more flex. Who is it? What was the question? Ruggs or Crowder? I'm playing Crowder. Yeah, I'm playing Crowder there. Sam Hanks with a donation says Standard League, Akers or Fournette or James Robinson. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm probably going to... I know that they're saying that Akers is probably not going to get the first couple snaps, but you're in quite the pickle here, Sam. I think those 3 options are really just... They're not great this week in a standard format. Akers, Fournette, and Robinson are guys I typically don't want to play this week, but if I have to play one, I'm playing Akers. David Garcia says, what is it? I have to drop one kicker for a legal lineup. You have to drop one for a kicker. Or am I dropping Antonio Gibson or Kareem Hunt? No, you drop Gibson. Yeah, you're going to keep Kareem Hunt. Yeah, I would drop Gibson. It's hard to drop him, but yeah, if you need to drop him and your bench is that small, then yeah. The Exotic says, yo, flex, PPR, Devontae Parker, or Kareem Hunt. I'm probably playing Kareem Hunt there. I'm a little worried about Devontae Parker. I'm going to be honest. It's a pretty tough matchup on top of the fact that he's been dealing with a little bit of an injury this week. So I probably lean with Kareem Hunt there. Let's see here. Pinoy Pure says, who would you pick for the flex? Full PPR, AJ Green, Preston Williams, Jalen Reagor, Hunter Henry, TJ Hawkinson, Darius Slayton. Can't start Fournette or Sutton. Yeah, I'd play AJ Green. That's my suggestion there this week. Nel Santiago says full PPR, Cohen, Carson, Judy, pick 2. I'm playing Cohen and I'm playing Carson. Appreciate the donation. Bo says Mostert or OBJ half PPR. New here, love the work, appreciate it. I'm playing Mostert over OBJ this week. Okay, hopefully I'm not sitting in the way of the rankings here. Okay, I'll kind of scoot over a little bit. All right, so at about 9 o'clock, I got to take a little bit of an intermission. I'm going to go get a water and I'll come back, but I got 13 more minutes of questions and then I'll get a water. I'll come back. It should be good. So yeah, let's see here. A couple more questions in the donation pile. So I'm going to just try to rip through these as quickly as I can to kind of get you guys ready. Doug 13 fresh with the donation. Appreciate it very much. Says full PPR, Singletary or Shepard. I'm probably going with Singletary. I mean, I like Shepard. I just don't know where he's going to be in the rotation of targets. He could probably be, he's probably the number 1 wide receiver on that team. But in terms of targets, I could easily see Saquon and or Evan Ingram getting more targets than him this week against Pittsburgh. So I think Singletary is probably the safer play. Like I mentioned a little bit earlier this week with the running back video, no other team last season, when they were up in games, ran the ball more than the Buffalo Bills. Even with Zach Moss, I think Devin Singletary and him are probably going to be the 1-2 punch. When they get the early lead against the Jets, they're just going to run the ball and the clock out. So Singletary should be pretty good. DJ622, I remember that name. Appreciate the donation. Says Djax or Edelman full PPR. If Edelman scores a touchdown, I'm going Djax. Yeah, I'm playing Djax this week. Even if Edelman scores a touchdown, he's going to have to catch the ball 10 times to be more valuable than Deshaun Jackson. Because if Jackson scores, that upside there is going to be with a deep ball, the yardage, everything's going to kind of be there. If you're scared about Deshaun Jackson, then Edelman's an easily safe play. 10 plus points minimum in a half PPR or in a full PPR. But yeah, I'm probably leaning with Deshaun Jackson this week. Justin with another donation says, where is it at? I scrolled past it. Okay, you demand Andrew, thank you very much. Devontae Parker, Chris Thompson, half PPR. This is where I go with Devontae Parker. Yeah, I'll take Parker over Chris Thompson this week. In a half PPR, yeah. I don't see Chris Thompson scoring this week. If he does, well, he proved me wrong. Whatever. But I think Devontae Parker is probably the safer play in between the two, or has more upside as well. Miracle Man says it's a full PPR. 2 flex, Landry, Anthony Miller, Jonnu Smith, Antonio Gibson. I'm playing Jarvis Landry and Anthony Miller there. I appreciate the donation, Miracle Man. Bub Frank with a donation. Didn't have a message attached. I don't know why. Appreciate the donation. The GOAT says, let's see here. Need 2 full PPR. Metcalf, Bell, Edelman. I'm probably playing Le'Veon Bell and DK Metcalf this week. Appreciate the donation, the GOAT. Ray Lap says, hey, sup Andrew, AJ Green or Kareem Hunt in the flex full half PPR? Half PPR. Where's my flex rankings on this thing? Where is Kareem Hunt on this thing? I see AJ Green. Where the heck is my Kareem Hunt? There he is. Okay. I'm playing Kareem Hunt over AJ Green this week in a half PPR flex. Appreciate the donation. James Raff says, hey you. Appreciate it, James. You've been around the channel for a long time now. I recognize the name. Appreciate it very much. Vertical says, PPR, Big Ben or Matthew Stafford. I'm playing Big Ben. Says it on screen. Should hopefully answer that. Good to go. Thank you very, very much for the donation. Appreciate it. James Raff says, pick 3. PPR, Zach Ertz, AJ Brown, Robert Woods, Stephon Diggs. Oh, man. Yeah, okay. We're going to play Robert Woods, AJ Brown, and Zach Ertz. We'll leave Stephon Diggs. Even though I don't like that, Zach Ertz is just, he's Zach Ertz. I don't know what to do. So, yeah, that's my suggestion as of right now. Moving on. Andrew Horton says, half PPR Chark or Ridley as my wide receiver too. The rankings on screen are half PPR rankings up to date. So I would still be playing Chark at my number 10 in comparison to Ridley number 13. I think they're both going to be good plays this week, but that's just my suggestion. Appreciate the donation. Chris Cohen says, Stafford or Carr in a PPR. If you're worried about Stafford, you can play Derek Carr. It's perfectly fine. I don't think Derek Carr is a bad choice. I'm just thinking like, even when Derek Carr has really good matchups, his ceiling is 2 touchdowns. At his core and at the base of that team, he's always been a very efficient quarterback. I mean, last year had a lot of games like 80+% passing completion percentage. A lot of people don't, kind of give Derek Carr the credit he deserves in terms of how accurate he is, on top of the fact that he's a pretty good game manager. He's just not going to do those 3 touchdown games. He's not going to have that high upside. And especially if the running game of Josh Jacobs is really starting to roll, I think they're just going to run the ball with him and let him kind of carry the team. At very best, Carr has a 250 passing yard game and 2 passing touchdowns. I think Stafford in garbage time could probably rack that up, to be honest. That's why I'm kind of leaning towards Stafford. But if you want to play Carr, go for it. Why not? I mean, it's your team, so you're good to go. I appreciate the donation, by the way. Let's see here. Ramirez says, Thielen, Cup, Juju, which 2 do I start? Because Connor's my flex. All right, cool. I'm playing Juju and Thielen. I don't like leaving Cup on the bench, but in this specific scenario, you do. So I'm playing Juju and Thielen. Appreciate the donation. Rude says, James Robinson or N'Keal Harry, full PPR flex. I'm playing N'Keal Harry. Yeah, I don't want to play James Robinson this week. I don't at all. I want to stay away from every Jaguar except for DJ Chark this week. Chris Thompson, I'm perfectly fine with in a full PPR at the flex spot, like we mentioned a little bit earlier, because he can catch the ball 6 times a game easily. And the Colts give up a lot of receptions to opposing running backs. But yeah, I'm probably leaning with the upside of N'Keal Harry there. Anyway, Bars in the Tuck says, pick 2, Gibson, Fournette, White, Malcolm Brown. I'm playing Antonio Gibson and James White there. Bars, appreciate the donation. Rock Out says, Deshaun Jackson or Gallup, full PPR flex. I'm playing Gallup. You guys know how much I love Michael Gallup. I mean, I can't say it any more or less. I love him. Lawrence Wong with the donation, appreciate it. Says, Cohen or Crowder in the flex. I'm playing Jamison Crowder in the flex. I appreciate it. I think he's probably more in line for more receptions, targets, opportunity, all that kind of jazz in that offense. He's pretty much the go-to for Darnold. So that's where I'm leaning in the direction as of right now. All right, guys. So let's see. There was one more donation here. Jordan. Let's see. Jefferson or pick up Bourne, Akers, Montgomery, or Breida. I think I'm going to be totally honest, if Akers or Montgomery are available, it's probably like a 10-team league, maybe, I don't know, maybe less. I probably run with Montgomery out there. I know it's a little sketchy because he dealt with that groin injury. He could re-aggravate it. I just feel like if he's actually good to go and they're playing him, then the doctors of that team have said, okay, he's ready to go. He's tested well. They checked him out. They're not going to rush a player back in week 1. It's pointless. There's a reason why Evans, Galladay, Cortland, they're all going to miss, because they don't want to rush them back and force injury. So if Montgomery's available, David Montgomery, I'd pick him up and play him over Justin Jefferson this week. Jordan, appreciate the donation. Let's see here. Terry R says, drop 1 for a kicker. Moss, Scott, Fuller, Deshaun Jackson, James Robinson, or Swift. Moss? Who the heck? Oh, Zach Moss? No, we're not dropping Zach Moss. I'm dropping James Robinson there. I'm keeping Moss, Scott, Fuller, Deshaun Jackson, and Swift. I'm dropping James Robinson for a kicker. I think the other guys have far more longevity in this upcoming season. Vertical says PPR, pick 2, Gallup, Cup, McLaurin. It's Cup and McLaurin. Appreciate the donation in a full PPR. Thank you, Vertical. Dylan Archer says half PPR, Slayton, Lazard, Chris Thompson. I think Alan Lazard could be decent, so could Slayton, but I think Chris Thompson's probably got the safer floor of the group, so I'm probably leaning with Chris Thompson there in the flex. Goat says Bell or Scott in a full PPR. I'm playing Scott over Bell this week. Joe Smalls with a donation. There wasn't really a message with it, but I appreciate it. Let me see if I could scroll up in this chat and see if it had a message. Where's Joe Smalls' donation? Joe Smalls? No, there wasn't a message attached. I appreciate it though. Trubisky, Haskins. Okay, this is from Bars. Trubisky, Haskins, or Fitzmagic. Don't laugh at me. That's fine. Play Trubisky. I'm not even kidding. I would play Mitchell Trubisky over Haskins and Fitzmagic this week. Kevin with the donation says, should I be looking to trade Mark Ingram after a few games because of J.K. Dobbins? I don't think you should be worried about it. No. I think Mark Ingram's, it's J.K. Dobbins' job to come and win. I don't think it's a matter of Mark Ingram's going to lose his job. He was very good last year. He had, 5 yards per carry average. I know the offense was a monster in terms of running the rock, but I don't think Mark Ingram, his experience, his ability in the passing game, I don't think someone's coming to take his job unless he gets injured or something else out of our control kind of leads to that. Like, him getting traded or something out of the realm of possibility. But either way, yeah, Mark Ingram should be good to go. I mean, you can trade him after a couple high performances. Like if he goes off today, goes for 20 points, you can trade him and try to get Nick Chubb off somebody, something like that. Big Dog with another donation says, start one, Drake, Gordon, Fournette. Drake, not even close. He's going to be great against the 49ers this week. He'll catch the ball probably upwards of 5 times. That in itself, on top of the opportunity he gets on the ground. He's done pretty well against the 49ers last year. I think it was 4 yards per carry average plus. So, he should be pretty good. Ankit Patel says, Galladay's out, Crowder or Emmanuel Sanders. I'm playing Crowder. Michael with the donation says, half PPR, Hunter Henry, Marquise Brown, Diggs, Lindsey, or Hunt. I'm playing Diggs. Yeah, I'm playing Stephon Diggs there in a half PPR. Appreciate the donation. Marquise Brown is probably second after that, and or Hunt, but I'm playing Diggs before all of them. James Joyner says, keep up the quality work. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Okay, so it's about 9 o'clock. So give me a second, guys. I'm going to go get some water. I'll be back. And then we'll continue. But either way, hopefully everything that is on screen kind of answers your stuff. So I'll be right back. I'm just going to leave it up on screen, okay? Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. All right, so I'm back. Okay, so where were we at? Jesus Christ, my voice. All right, so I'm here. Don't worry. All right, so we had a couple more donations. Let me see what's going on here. What's going on? No Tyreek Hill? Question mark, question mark. Matthew, that's the funniest question I've ever heard. What do you mean no Tyreek Hill? He played on Thursday, dude. Why would I include him in here? Oh, man. Okay, so here's my question. Like, Kevin D in the chat with the Pittsburgh Steelers logo. I see you all the time in the comment section. Love your support. I appreciate it a lot. If it says that Chark is above Woods, then why are you still asking if Chark or Woods? Like, I'm not going to change the answer because I don't know. Like, I'm confused almost. I don't know. Anyway. What about Jalen Reagor? I think Jalen Reagor is going to be fine. I just don't know how much work he's going to get. He's still injured. You know, it's a matter of just like, let's wait and see what happens. I'm not sure if I want to throw him into my lineup week 1. I think I got better options than that, especially on waivers. All right, we had a couple more questions kind of slide in here. Let's see. I do appreciate you guys coming out today. Again, there are a lot of you here today. I don't think I've ever had a stream with this many people. Just kind of putting it in perspective, okay? So I appreciate you guys coming out. Again, patreon.com/Andrew Kiorkof. You can get up-to-date rankings. I just posted my up-to-date flex half PPR rankings and all that kind of stuff. I got to do full PPR. I almost have that finished, so I'm just going to adjust that a little bit because I was waiting for a couple pieces of information to come out. Nothing really, I mean, outside of Galladay missing, there's not really much that's kind of prevalent as of this moment in time. But regardless, that's where you can find a lot of information, guys. I'm telling you. Flex rankings, there. You don't have to donate $5. You can just pay $10 a month, and the flex rankings are there. Community Discord server. There's literally people in there asking questions and talking. Like, it's the place to be. Just saying. But if you don't want to do it, no problem, no pressure. I'm just letting y'all know that it exists. All right. So where were we at here? We were in. Let's see here. Where were we at? Okay, so we had a couple donations come in. Just gotta catch these real quick. So James Joyner said, "Keep up the quality work." Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Don't worry. Next Saturday, I got a juicy bit of content coming out. So quality work is gonna keep moving up with your guys' support. Again, thank you. SPL Champs for the donation. There wasn't a question attached. Let me scroll up in the chat and see maybe if there was one next to it. No, there wasn't a question there, SPL, but I do appreciate the donation. Moving on. We have ourselves Jordan with another question. Tannehill, Rodgers, Rivers, best two going forward. That's good. That's a matter of like schedule. I mean, like preseason rankings, I had Rodgers and Tannehill above Rivers, and I'll probably hold it that way. Yeah, I'll probably go there still. Yeah, Tannehill and Rodgers over Rivers as of this moment in time. Peter says, full PPR, start Hollywood Brown or James White. Yeah, look, this is the conversation I had earlier with James White and Deshaun Jackson, right? Deshaun Jackson, Hollywood Brown. Totally high upside, but also have the volatility of I didn't have to, catch a ball for 50 yards and a touchdown this week because we won by just running the rock down the opponent's throat, right? Like that's my entire concern there. That's why I lean towards James White. But if you want that high upside, and you think, okay, Hollywood Brown's just going to feast. In a full PPR, Hollywood Brown is not going to get an extra level of depth because of his catches, right? He's not going to catch the ball 10 times in a game. If he does, then this is a different Hollywood Brown. Antonio Brown is wearing his jersey and running out there, right? So I'm still leaning towards James White, in my opinion. But again, Hollywood Brown, you could play him. I don't mind that. I honestly, if I had multiple leagues in which I have Hollywood Brown and James White, I'd probably do it differently in every single league because they're that close in my mind. Some leagues I want higher upside. Some leagues I just want the safety in my flex. Bryant says, pick one. Rodgers, Teddy Bridgewater, Carr, or Tyrod. I'm probably still playing Rodgers and then Tyrod and then Carr and then Teddy. That's the order. As of right now, again, I think Rodgers on screen is right next to Teddy Bridgewater. Let me go ahead and confirm. Yeah, Rodgers is ahead of Tyrod Taylor. I said Teddy Bridgewater. My apologies. Yeah, I'm probably still playing Rodgers above Tyrod. But I think Tyrod Taylor's a pretty good play this week regardless. But yeah, I'm still leaning with Aaron Rodgers. I want to see what Aaron Rodgers is about. They drafted a quarterback in the first. Maybe that's lit a fire under his ass. Maybe he's ready to go. He wasn't incredible last year, to say the least. So maybe he can turn it on. But appreciate the donation, Brian. Young, let's see here, says, what about Jalen Reagor? What do you think about? Okay, do you think he's a good flex option? I don't think he's a good flex option in week 1. To be honest, he could score 5 touchdowns this week for all I know. But to be honest, I'm not sure if I'm willing to throw him out there in week 1. If he gets hit once or lands on the shoulder, something of that extent, he's out. He's done. He tears that thing completely, gone. He needs surgery regardless. So, if you want to throw him in the flex, you can. I'm not someone that's willing to do that at this moment in time. In comparison to the wide receivers on screen, I'd much rather play a Ruggs or a Anthony Miller this week in comparison. But I do appreciate the donation. Again, I think their upcoming schedule is pretty easy. I think you want to have them on roster and on your bench, but I don't know if it's a good idea to start them in week 1. But you do what you feel comfortable with, of course. Bryce Lawson says, half PPR Tyrod or Minshew? I'm playing Tyrod Taylor. Let's see here. SPL Champ says, full PPR, pick 2, White, OBJ, Carson, Lamb. I'm playing Chris Carson, and then I'm playing James White. I don't mind OBJ. I think, like I was mentioning earlier, James White is that cutoff point for me. I don't know what it is. I like James White over these low-end wide receiver 2s. Deshaun Jackson, Marquise Brown, OBJ. They could all easily score more than him in a full PPR. They very easily could. But I think the safety of James White sitting there is hard to pass up on, in my opinion. I like White. I like Carson. That's my suggestion. But OBJ is definitely an option you could play over White. But Carson stays regardless. Jason Bell says half PPR. What do you think about Ruggs over Bourne? Yeah, I prefer Ruggs over Bourne. Let's see here. Harry says Antonio Gibson or AJ Green. I'm playing AJ Green. I appreciate the donation and half PPR. West says tight end rest of season standard Hawkinson, Jonnu, Disley or Ebron. Rest of season, I'm kind of thinking it's Hawkinson. Look, it's really early. Let's see how week 1 goes. I think right now I prefer Hawkinson over the group, but in terms of matchups upcoming, he plays against the Cardinals in 2 weeks. That could be nice. But as for rest of season, I mean, it very easily could be Eric Ebron who ends up being the best tight end in this group. And he's probably the guy that's going to be started the least amongst all these tight ends this week. So, not sure. We'll just have to wait and see. In my preseason rankings, I had Hawkinson above the rest of these guys. Just putting it out there. Give me a second here. Okay. Like Glockwork says, pick 3. Allen, Godwin, Malcolm Brown, McLaurin, Kilo. Who the heck is Kilo? Kilo is a gun from Modern Warfare. I think it's a beam. Moving on. Pick 3. So I'm playing Godwin, 100%. I'm playing Allen, 100%. And I'm playing McLaurin, 100%. Perfect. Those are my 3 like Glockwork. Appreciate it. Okay. Mark Cleveland. All right, give me a second, guys. Actually, Mark, I'm going to get to your question in a second. Got to answer a couple Patreon questions here. What was this? I have a question. Zach Moss or Emmanuel Sanders at the flex. Half PPR. All right, where is my half PPR rankings? Let me see what we have here. Yeah, we're playing Moss. Oh, my goodness. Okay, we had another question here. Hey, currently we're dealing with... Okay, where in the heck is this? Give me a second. Where the heck is Todd Gurley and where the heck is... Yeah. Okay, cool. Done. So where are we at here? All right. So what was the next question? Mark Cleveland says, Lazard or Campbell? Who the heck is Campbell? Am I crazy? Have I lost my mind? Okay, just really quickly, guys. For those of you who are asking questions, see this stuff around me? Yeah, my hand gets cut off here and there's a green screen. Don't worry about it. There are rankings behind me. So if you have a question like Rodgers or Big Ben, it's on screen. Big Ben's the answer, guys. Just throwing it out there. Just so we're all on the same page. Paris Campbell, thank you very much. I was like, who the heck is Campbell? I was like, what is going on? Thank you for answering that question, guys. To be honest, I'm playing Alan Lazard over Paris Campbell this week. See, that's how I know I'm not going with Paris Campbell. Because if he's such an afterthought, then I'm like, there's no way. Let's see here. Next question was, okay, Le'Veon Bell or Zach Ertz in a half PPR? That is a very good question. Let's go see my half PPR rankings. Where's Bell? I know I have Zach Ertz there, and Bell is below him. I'm going Zach Ertz. Kula, I'm going Zach Ertz there over Le'Veon Bell this week. Zach Williams says Melvin Gordon or Boston Scott in a half PPR. I'm playing Boston Scott. It says it on screen. Thank you very much. I appreciate the donation very much. DB4331, it says, would you drop Paris Campbell for LaVista Chenault before waivers now that DD is healthy scratch? ? Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I honestly think that there's a very good chance that Paris Campbell could be the number 2 there, but there's still Zach Pascal. There's still the Pittman. There's still the upside of Jack Doyle, taking some catches, and Naeem Hines. So there's a lot of mouths to feed in Indianapolis. I don't mind trying to go after Chenault. I think he's a pretty good player himself. So taking that chance, I think it's a wise play on your hand. You can maybe strike gold with that. Patrick D with the donation. Thank you very much. It doesn't really say any message next to it, but I appreciate it. Appreciate it a lot. The Rob Cab 1 says full PPR Zach Moss, Henry Ruggs, Kareem Hunt, pick one. I'm the underdog. I can see Henry Ruggs having a big game today. As could I. I think Kareem Hunt is probably the safest play of the bunch. He'll probably catch the ball a good amount of times considering the game script, if in fact the Baltimore Ravens take the lead as convincingly as I expect them to. If you're looking for high upside, I would hope that Henry Ruggs can accomplish that, but honestly, I'm not 100% certain if that's a possibility. I'm hoping it is. I'm definitely playing Ruggs and or Hunt above Moss in a full PPR by a significant margin. So I kind of just want to sit with Kareem Hunt. But if you want to play Ruggs, I don't think it's a bad idea at all. How much of an underdog? Like, if you told me, like, hey, yeah, he had David Johnson and he had, I don't know, Clyde Edwards, and I'm projected to lose by 12 now, like, okay. But do I still want to throw out a guy that I don't know what he's going to 100% do? I know he's going to play well against Carolina. Is he going to score big? That's the question mark. That's why I'm a little bit hesitant on him. That's why he's a lower end wide receiver 3, because I know he's going to be fine. He's going to get his catches, he's going to get his targets, but right now I'm still leaning towards Hunt in my mind. But yeah, you could play Henry Ruggs and just we got to hope it pans out. William Flowers says David Montgomery or Anthony Miller. Okay, so there's two trains of thought here. They're both Bears. It's perfectly fine. It's a matter of what you expect to happen. If in fact David Montgomery plays the full game, gets himself 20 touches, easily is a better play. But if he's ending up with 11 touches by the end of the game, Anthony Miller is going to be a better play. I know David Montgomery has the upside of that touchdown, but Anthony Miller could probably catch the ball 7 times today for, I don't know, 60 some odd yards and be a better play. If Montgomery doesn't or isn't granted the opportunity because of that injury, I'm expecting him to play. I'm expecting it to be perfectly fine. So I've ranked him accordingly. So I probably personally play Montgomery and just let it roll. But yeah, Miller's not a bad option. But yeah, I'm probably leaning towards Montgomery. Victor says, let's see here, what was it? Chark, Montgomery, Robert Woods, James White. I'm playing Robert Woods and Chark this week out of the 4 options you gave me. I'm playing both the receivers in a full PPR, Victor. Appreciate it. Appreciate the donations. A couple of you sent in a couple donations and the messages were not attached. I don't know if there were supposed to be messages, but I don't see any attached to them. DMV Sports Zone, I don't see one next to it. I do appreciate. Here we go. Hiram says Taylor or Jamison Crowder. Half PPR. I'd probably go with Jonathan Taylor. Full PPR, there's a conversation for Jamison Crowder to get the start this week. The DMV Sports have a question that maybe fell down as well. Is that what happens? Yeah, the questions fall. So guys, when you donate, there are some times where I think it's at the $1 donation where the message is not attached to it. And what happens is it gets lost in the actual live chat, which makes it really hard for me to try to go find it. But from now on, I'll try to go find them. So DMV Sports Zone said, should I start Tyler Boyd or Marlon Mack in my flex? Half PPR. My matchups make it tough. I'm playing Marlon Mack there over Tyler Boyd in the flex. Appreciate it. Northwest says standard James White or AJ Green. I'm playing AJ Green in a standard. Nolan says Chark or Jonathan Taylor. I'm playing Chark. Jacob G says pick 2 wide receivers: Marvin Jones Jr., AJ Green, Devontae Parker. Okay, so pick 2 wide receivers and then a running back. I'm playing Akers over Rojo probably, and I'm probably playing Green and Marvin Jones over Parker. But I don't mind Parker. Parker Green is like you can switch it at any moment and it's perfectly fine. They both got the same upside. They both have the same floor. It's a matter of matchup then. And I think if AJ Green is actually as fully healthy as he says he is, he could be a different level. Renee says Zach Moss or Antonio Gibson today. I think as of right now, going into this week, it's probably safer going with Zach Moss in a half PPR and then full PPR going with Antonio Gibson. That's my suggestion at this moment in time. Okay, so this is what I need to check. Let me check Patreon real quick. Appreciate you guys coming out today. Archie, thank you for signing up. I think there's a couple more people that actually joined. Caleb joined. I appreciate that. Let me go ahead and send some messages to these guys. Where are we at here? Dang it. Oh man, week 1 is it's quite the week, huh? It is quite the week. You know, man, it's crazy stuff, guys. Crazy stuff. All right, so a couple more questions came in. Let's see here. Alsop says Mike Evans or Antonio Gibson. I honestly will say play Mike Evans at your own discretion. I personally want to avoid it because I'm very concerned that he could very well easily injure himself in the first quarter and or just be a distraction on the field and try to help open up more opportunity for other receiving options. He could just be used as a distraction there because of the Marshawn Lattimore coverage. So I'm probably trying to lean away from him. Antonio Gibson, if that's your next best option, that's where I'll go with. I'm afraid of having Mike Evans sit in my roster, get hurt, and give me 0 points. That's what I'm afraid of. I know the upside. I'm just afraid of his injury at this moment in time. I'm very risk averse in that scenario. RZ King in the chat said David Montgomery or Marlon Mack. Should we point at it? It's over there. Oh, somewhere over there. I wish the green screen extended farther. I'm taking Marlon Mack over David Montgomery, dude. It's right there on screen, guys. If you want, I'll just take it away. Like we can just do this if you want. Like it's literally behind me. Like the answer is there, guys. I'm telling you, I'm doing you guys a favor. I don't even have to do these rankings on screen. I don't have to, but I want to do it because I know it'll help you guys out, and a lot of people have questions. I'm here to help. It's literally on screen, guys. I'm telling you. Those are the half PPR rankings. Andrew, hey, any weather issues, says Ugly Dude? Yeah, let's look this up. I think the only game in which there was concerns about weather was the Bills and or the Cincinnati game, which had a chance of precipitation. The wrong word came out there. Okay, looking at it currently, that's clean, partly cloudy there. Jets versus Bills, according to what it says for the 1 p.m. EST Standard Time, 28% chance of rain. Not really concerned there. Everything else looks good. The Jacksonville game, 84 degrees, but 27% chance of rain for the 10 a.m. 1 p.m. time. Let's see here. Nope, nothing much. Where's Cincinnati? I heard something that Cincinnati might have. Yeah, nope. It seems like it's partly cloudy. It's kind of cleared up, so we're good to go. Nothing there, but that's a good question. Good question. Let's see here. Jackson Kelly with the donation. Really appreciate that. Devontae Parker, Jonnu Smith, Jarvis Landry for the flex this week. I lost Galladay and Miles Sanders. I'm sorry to hear that. It's really unfortunate. That's just a case of bad luck with Galladay and Sanders. I mean, for Sanders, I guess we knew that he was dealing with injury in camp, but again, that is unfortunate. That's why you got to handcuff your running backs, guys. Between Parker, Jonnu Smith, and Jarvis Landry, I'm playing Jarvis Landry, then Parker, then Jonnu Smith in that order. Let's see here. Dean says defense. Tampa Bay, Green Bay, Detroit. I don't want to touch Detroit defense today. They got a lot of starters that are missing. So between Tampa Bay and Green Bay, I'm probably going Green Bay. Green Bay last year against the Minnesota Vikings. They scored 10 points and 11 points in the two matchups because Kirk Cousins holds on to the ball too long, and the Smith brothers, Zadarius and Preston, they get after it. I mean, they really get after it. So I expect that pass rush to get there. I expect it to be a lower scoring game. But yeah, I think the Saints are probably going to tear up that Tampa Bay secondary. I'm assuming they're full go. So I played Green Bay's defense today. I like that defense. I have it in my own home league. I'm running that out there. There was another donation by Rob F. Says Jones Jr., Cooper, or Gibson. Okay, so really quickly, just so we're all on the same page here. Amari Cooper sits here at, where is he at? Number 24 for me. I'm scared of Jalen Ramsey, legitimately. I'm a Rams fan, and I know what Jalen Ramsey's capable of. He just got his money. The dude is going to ball out. Now, if he's covering Amari Cooper the whole game, that's not a good thing for Amari Cooper. I know Amari Cooper is a capable wide receiver. I'm just worried about that. So as of this moment in time, I'm leaning towards Marvin Jones Jr., over Cooper and over Gibson in a full PPR. So that's my suggestion. Rob F., Marvin Jones Jr. With Galladay out, the guy could easily be even a higher wide receiver than what I have him ranked. Easily. All right. So really quickly. Okay. I had a question here. Let's see here. Woods or Chark non-PPR? Okay. W. Let's see here. Let's venture into this chat, shall we? Green Bay or Chargers or Rams? I'm probably playing Green Bay. Chargers? Yeah. Okay. I don't mind Chargers. Chargers, Green Bay, Rams. That's not a bad question. Pat in the chat. I don't mind that. Let's see here. McGill said, let me see your question real quick. Do you think I should start Akers over Gibson as my flex? Right now I have Gibson over Akers as my flex, and I'm not sure how I feel about it with the matchups for each. Okay, so here's the thing, right? Gibson, guys, is 100% a PPR back. He's not going to run the ball out of this backfield. If he does, I'm very surprised at him doing so. So personally, I'm probably leaning towards Gibson because if you're playing in a PPR setting, you probably catch the ball a good amount of times based on their game script today. I mean, I expect Philadelphia to win by a good margin. Akers could be in line of really, I mean, he's currently listed as the RB3 on the team. You could be listed as the RB3, not start the game, but then still have the most carries. I've seen it happen in the past, and I could easily see it happening this week. But regardless, I play Gibson, but if you want to play Akers, play him. I have no problem there. Okay, guys. Okay, am I muted? Guys, I'm telling you, the rankings behind me are half PPR. If you have a question about, let's say, for example, let's throw it out there, Boston Scott and David Montgomery. We're starting Boston Scott. Why? Because Boston Scott is my, what is he? 18th, what is it, 18th ranked? Am I blind? He's my 18th ranked running back, while David Montgomery's my 27. We play the higher numbers, guys. I'm telling you. You guys are going to make me go crazy, I swear. What are these questions, guys? Come on. You guys are trolling me. Like, holy moly. Come on, guys. What are we doing? We got to be better than that, guys. Come on. All right. Let's see. Your mom, 1669, says James White, Jonathan Taylor, Marvin Jones, Melvin Gordon need 2 in a full PPR. Marvin Jones for sure. And then after that, I'm playing James White. So we go Marvin Jones, James White. That's my suggestion. If you want to play Jonathan Taylor and or Melvin Gordon, you can over James White. But for sure, Marvin Jones has to play this week. The running back position is a little bit close, but I go with James White. I still kind of want to see where this Jonathan Taylor, Marlon Mack split kind of, seems itself out with Nyheim Hines catching the balls out of the backfield. And then Melvin Gordon, Phillip Lindsay, kind of see where that kind of splits off. But James White, Marvin Jones, my initial reaction to that. Andrew Hedrick says, Chris Conley, Deshaun Jackson, CeeDee Lamb. 100% Deshaun Jackson. There's a reason why Chris Conley and CeeDee Lamb are not on the back screen here behind me. It's mainly because Deshaun Jackson, sitting at number 23, is a significantly better receiving option this week. So, yeah. Good to go. Good to go. Okay. Really quickly, let's do some stuff here. Just gotta change a couple things here, and I'll be back in a second. Okay. Oh, you know what? Okay, well. All right, so someone just asked me a question about Melvin Gordon and James White. To be honest, I think Melvin Gordon and James White in a full PPR are almost stacked on top of each other. I got to go confirm with I'm looking at my half PPR rankings right now. In my full PPR rankings, I think, who asked it? Just so I kind of can address it really quickly, actually. Yeah, it was your mom, 1669. Honestly, I wouldn't mind playing Melvin Gordon over James White, because I know Melvin Gordon's going to catch the ball, and with Cortland Sutton out, they probably have to dump the ball to the running back position a little bit more. So I don't mind playing Melvin Gordon over James White and then taking Marvin Jones. Melvin Gordon and James White are probably back-to-back in those rankings, just putting it out there. Because they're pretty close right now on half PPR, and I know that James White takes a jump in my rankings. Jordan says, yo, Jonathan Taylor, Marvin Jones, Terry McLaurin need 2. If you're playing in a full PPR, I'll take both the wide receivers. If you're playing in a half PPR, I'm probably still taking both the wide receivers. I think we would sit Jonathan Taylor in that scenario. I know Jonathan Taylor's got a good matchup, but I'm also afraid that very easily could show up and sit behind Marlon Mack the entire week and not do anything. Could very easily happen. And that in itself is a scary prospect. I think Scary Terry, speaking of being scary, and Marvin Jones should be good to go. Your mom 1669 says, who should I sub Marvin Jones in for Odell Beckham, Gallup, or DJ Chark? I personally would sub him in for OBJ. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to, but that's what I would do. I'd play him over OBJ, and I'd start Marvin Jones, DJ Chark, and Gallup this week. My suggestion. But again, guys, just throwing it out there. My suggestions are not going to be 100% fact and true. If you have a feeling, you play that feeling. Because again, I'm not the end all be all. If I knew what was going to happen this week, for certain, I promise you, I wouldn't be here starting up a stream and waking up at 6:30 with 2 hours sleep on Sunday morning for week 1. I'd be in Vegas playing big money, right? If I knew the results of this week's games, I'd be making prop bets galore. But I'm trying my best. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully everything pans out accordingly. Paris Campbell or Christian Kirk? M. Lucas, okay, that's Christian Kirk. Yeah. Scotty Miller or Tyler Boyd. I'm playing Boyd. I know Scotty Miller could play well this week, but I'd rather stick with Boyd in that scenario. Keenan Allen or Marvin Jones, half PPR. I'm still playing Keenan Allen. I mean, it's on the screen. Dude, it's on the screen. Juju or Amari Cooper, it's on the screen. Come on, guys. I'm telling you. I'm not joking. These are not rankings from earlier this week. These are rankings from this morning. There's a reason why. Oh, man, guys. I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to literally go crazy. Jacobo, thank you for the donation. Says James Robinson or Chris Thompson, half PPR. I'm playing Chris Thompson. I think the stat that I heard the other day was when Chris Thompson plays with Gruden as his offensive coordinator last year with the Washington football team, he caught 6 passes a game, and the Indianapolis Colts gave up on average 7 receptions to opposing running backs last year. So if Chris Thompson is just going to dominate in the passing game because they're going to be down in points because the Indianapolis Colts offense is going to take a pretty good leap in advantage early, we go Chris Thompson there. So that's my suggestion. All right, let me get some water in my system here. Dude, I don't understand. You guys are crazy. I got to stop looking at the chat. You guys are just going to make me lose my mind. It's, oh, man. I don't get it, guys. Miller as in Anthony Miller. I'm still playing Boyd. Why? Because it's on screen. Still playing Boyd. Stay hydrated. That's right, Gev. I see you, Gev. You playing? Let me see your lineup, Gev. Let's see what you're going to do today, huh? Who do you even play, Gev? Let's see here. You playing as Nick? Okay. Let me see your lineup. Okay. Gurley. Yep. You look like you're good to go, dude. Look like you're good to go. Austin Eckler. Adam Thielen. Russell Wilson. Good looking team. Okay. Let's see here. All right, cool. So that's just settled with. I got to just check a couple things here. If you hear a bunch of clicking, it's because I'm copy pasting stuff. I'm readjusting rankings. I'm throwing players into different slots. So just bear with me. All right. So where are we at here? Funky Duck said, where are you at, Funky Duck? You sent in a donation. I appreciate it. I got to find the question now because it didn't attach itself. Where in the heck is it, huh? Where the heck is your question, Funky Duck? I can't find it, dude. You got to be kidding me. Where did it slide to? Maybe there wasn't a question because it's not even in the chat unless I'm absolutely blind. Huh. Yeah, it's not there. All right, I appreciate the donation, dude. Just type something in the chat. I'll probably grab it. 10 p.m. says bench Evans ? If so, who do I start? Boyd or Sanders? Okay, yeah, I'm benching Evans this week. I don't want to play him. I think he's hurt. I think he has a very good chance of getting injured again. So I'd play Boyd this week over Emmanuel Sanders, 10 p.m. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. Andrew Hedrick said Blake Jarwin or Austin Hooper. Thanks. I'd play Blake Jarwin this week. I like the matchup against the Rams linebacking core personally. So that's what I'd probably run out there, guys. All right. So Sag has sent in a question saying Kendrick Bourne, Preston Williams, Christian Kirk, Jonnu, Smitty, okay. Need 2 to replace Kenny G and Sutton, standard. Okay, if you're playing in a standard, you're looking for touchdown upside. Where do you find touchdown upside? Kendrick Bourne. That is my suggestion to begin with. Then after Kendrick Bourne, we look at Preston Williams, Christian Kirk, and Jonnu Smith. I lean to Christian Kirk. That is my follow-up suggestion. So those are my 2, Christian Kirk and Kendrick Bourne. I appreciate you being in the chat. You had a little bit of a Monka S face next to it, so I decided to answer. But that's a pretty easy question. It just wasn't on screen, so I thought I'd take care of it for you. Okay, let me go back here really quickly. Okay. Let's see here. What the heck is going on here? Perfect. Okay, coming back to the chat. Here we go. I appreciate all of you guys' donations today. Absolutely incredible. For those of you who are still in the chat, if you haven't clicked the like button, smash it. I do appreciate you guys supporting the channel. Regis says Tyler Boyd or Deshaun Jackson. It's on screen behind me. I'm playing Deshaun Jackson. Football is back, baby. That's correct, Caesar. It's back. Anthony Hayes with the donation says Marvin Jones or Mark Ingram. Really good question. Holy shit. Okay. Wow. Mark Ingram or Marvin Jones? Oh my goodness. I think I'm going Mark Ingram there. Yeah. I think I'd play Mark Ingram. If it's a full PPR, I'd maybe consider Marvin Jones. I just think Mark Ingram's going to score a touchdown today. I think it's like an automatic almost. So that's where I'm going. Yeah, I appreciate it. Let's see here. Deshaun Jackson or Hollywood, I'm pretty sure I have them back to back. That's a coin toss. It's up to you. It's your preference. Do you want to play Hollywood against a depleted back thing? What's it called? A depleted secondary, or do you want to play Deshaun Jackson as the number one wide receiver in the Eagles offense? That's the question at hand. You flip the coin. Gerardo says Scott or Chubb. I don't understand. Did I misspell somebody's name on the list? Let me check here. Nick Chubb's at 13 and Boston Scott's at 18. So that's what I would do. I would not bench Nick Chubb this week. If he was on my team, I'm starting him 100% of the time. Unless I'm playing in a 5-team league, in which I got MVPs at every slot, we're good to go. Jasicki will be the MVP of the NFL and win 2 Super Bowls this year. Brian, that is a fantastic bold prediction. And you know what? It could happen. Could happen. You never know. I'll call my bookie right now. Give me a second. Yeah. Jasicki, yeah, put all the money on him. Yep. All right, cool. Thank you. Good suggestion, Brian. Hopefully it pans out. Sag with the donation says, thank you, bro. Appreciate it. No problem. I appreciate the donation. Let's see here. Full PPR. Okay, that's a flex question. Zach, look, guys, if let's say, for example, okay, because I see this question says Zach Moss or Brian Edwards. If Brian Edwards isn't on screen, and Zach Moss sits there at number 31. I know there's a chance that there's a wide receiver that's not on screen that could be more valuable than said running back, but Zach Moss is on screen. You get it? Wink, wink, blink. You feel me? Okay. Desperation plays with Miles Sanders out. DeAndre Swift, Corey Clement, or J.K. Dobbins full PPR. In a full PPR, I don't mind Corey Clement. He could probably catch the ball 3 times today, but with that being said, you are in a very tough position. I think all of them score similar points. I think if you're going to run one out, I don't want to play anybody on the Lions backfield. I don't want to play Carryon. I don't want to play DeAndre Swift. I don't want to play Adrian Peterson. Until I see the snap counts, the carry counts, the work in the passing game, I don't want to trust any of them. So it sits between Dobbins and Clement. I'd probably lean with J.K. Dobbins, assuming he's going to get some sort of role today. If he doesn't, then that's going to suck. And a lot of us are gonna have wasted a pretty high pick for him, and we're just gonna have to wait until it eventually pans out. But Clement's not a bad option for the second option there. So Dobbins, Clement, Swift, kind of that order thingy. Okay, give me a second. Gotta check a couple things. Let me refresh Patreon to make sure nobody sent me no questions. Okay, what time is it? 41? All right. Let's do some stuff here. Okay, let's see. All right. We had a question that flew in here. Where did it go? Where did it go? What the heck happened? All right, there it is. Adam B says full PPR. Edelman, Amari Cooper, Deshaun Jackson. Pick 2. To be honest, okay, so here's the thing. I did not draft a single share of Amari Cooper this year, not by accident. I'm very afraid of his inconsistency. He'll have 10 good performances this year, and he'll have 6 inconsistent, terrible performances this year. He's already been dealing with an injury. That in itself kind of concerns me. He practiced fully this week. No big deal. That being said, he gets Jalen Ramsey this week. If you feel comfortable playing him against Jalen Ramsey, then you play him. In a full PPR, I think Edelman's value kind of increases and kind of catches up a little bit. So I could see him there. But I think between the three, you probably are going to play Amari Cooper and Deshaun Jackson. Edelman, if he plays, I'm not playing him over Deshaun Jackson. I'd play him over Amari Cooper in a full PPR. That's just my thought process and suggestion. Let's see here. Pre-Rack 7 says half PPR, Carson, Jonathan Taylor, Raheem Mostert, Todd Gurley, pick 2. The rankings that are surrounding me as of today are my half PPR updated rankings. So if you're looking for that question, the question again was Carson, Raheem Mostert, JT, as in Jonathan Taylor, or Todd Gurley. I'd play Carson and I'd play Raheem Mostert. And those are my 2 suggestions for this week. Unfortunately, Todd Gurley sits on the bench with Jonathan Taylor. That's a lot of RB depth. If I had that on any one of my teams, I would be so happy, but I would feel like there's going to be somewhere else that I'm lacking in terms of tight end, maybe quarterback, maybe wide receiver. But regardless, good RB depth and good plays this week. Appreciate the donation. Goodness. Let's see here. Full PPR, Tyler Boyd or Jamison Crowder. I'm still playing Crowder over him. Thank you for the question, Royce. Jonathan Taylor or Boston Scott? I mean, it says it on screen, right? I'm probably playing. I'm playing personally. I am playing Jonathan. Boston Scott. Gosh, I had Taylor on the brain. Taylor or Carson? I'm playing Carson. I don't understand, guys. Like it's so simple. Just don't panic. Just look on screen. It's literally there. It's literally there. If it's a flex question, it's not going to be there, and I'm not going to give you the answer, right? Because those are Patreon and or donation-led questions. So throwing it out there. Worried about Sutton starting or place? Yeah, no. You have to play someone today. Do not worry about. I mean, listen. He has an AC joint sprain in his shoulder. Chris Carson missed 3. Sorry, Chris Carson. James Conner missed 3 weeks because of that kind of an injury last week. Just putting it out there. Alrighty, here we go. What the heck's going on? Okay, here we go. The rankings are so small on my phone screen, can't see names. How is that possible? All right. I was going to say bet, but I don't have to say bet. I can do it on my phone. I mean, let's see, shall we? Dude, you can definitely see it. There's no shot you can't see it. What you got to do is turn your phone sideways, close the chat, turn it back sideways. Dude, it's clear as day. Come on, dude. You're trolling me. You guys are trolling me so hard. What are you talking about, guys? Oh my God. No, it's clear. You must have a flip phone. There's no way. If you have an iPhone 4, I guarantee you can see it. Let's see here. No, it's coming. Martin, it's coming. I'm working on it right now. I'm gonna do it actually right now. I'll make it the absolute priority. I almost have it finished, by the way. So just give me a second. Okay. It's almost there. All right, cool. It's going to be an interesting week 1, guys. I'm going to be totally honest. I think week 1 of this off season or this regular season is probably going to be the most unanticipated actions and or reactions that we're going to possibly see. I don't want anybody panicking tomorrow. I don't want to hear anybody panicking in the comment section about my team didn't perform week 1, my season's over. I don't want to hear that next week or tomorrow. Because to be honest, guys, it's literally only 1 week. We live, we learn, we continue. If something happens, an injury takes place, a player doesn't play well, so be it. We move on. You get another 12 weeks to try to make your, fantasy playoffs. So we should all be just relaxed about it. Don't really have too much concern about 1 week. I know you want to win every game. You want to go undefeated. I get it. But, sometimes the team you play has the best week out of all the teams. And you got screwed because of the matchup. As long as your team plays well and is consistently scoring points, you're going to have a good team by the end of it all. Grant Darby says, Kerryon Johnson, DeAndre Swift, Leonard Fournette, half PPR. I know I'm screwed. Yeah, I'd probably go Kerryon Johnson there. Unfortunately, it's tough, but yeah, I'm probably going Kerryon there. Unfortunately, it's a no-win scenario. It's the Kobayashi Maru. It's something of that extent. I don't know. My brain's working too fast right now because I'm trying to figure some stuff out. What is happening? What am I looking at? That's what it is. I'm about to say, I was like, what just happened? Okay, so let's move this down. By the way, Martin, I don't know if you're watching still. It'll probably be so similar to yesterday that it's a very slight change. There's only a couple things that I've changed, and they're ever so slight. It's just like a couple adjustments to like Boston Scott, a couple adjustments to Raheem Mostert, a couple like Marvin Jones moving up a little bit. So it's very subtle, but yeah, I'll still update it in about hopefully a minute and a half after this is complete. All right, let me go back to chat real quick, make sure everything's looking good. There was a couple donations that flew by that my chat's not working. What? Why is it lagging? All right, we're chilling. Fabulous says Akers, Fournette, Dobbins, or Gibson. I'm playing Gibson. Waller says Akers, Fournette, Clement. Sanders is out. I'll probably play Akers, and then I'll probably play Akers. Fournette and Clement are just like gonna play secondary roles today, and I think Akers will as well. But I think Akers probably has the better chance of playing better. Fournette's schedule, I mean, Saints are tough, and then Clement, I don't know how much work he's gonna get in the running game. Again, he really fell out of favor in the last couple of years in that offense, so I'm not sure how much they're really gonna utilize him today. Let's see here. Where the heck is my Chris Carson, Nick Chubb dealio here? I have 2 Paris Campbells on that list. Why? What am I doing? Do I start OBJ? Depends. Do you have any of the players ahead of him? If you want to play OBJ, you play him. I mean, you drafted him to play him, right? So don't be afraid of it. Just play him. Should be fine. I mean, that's all it is, guys. It's a matter of greetings and salutations, my ninja. Okay. Thanks, Notorious. Let's see here. Would you play Scott over any wide receivers? Yeah, that's a lot of them, actually. I like Scott a lot. He's going to get a lot of touches today. I mean, he could end up being Mike Boone of the week 16 of last year. He could be Mike Boone, where he shows up and gets 3 catches, 3 receptions for like 13 yards and 5 rushing attempts for 8 yards and just gets destroyed. He could easily do that. I'm not saying it's out of the realm of possibility. I'm just saying that it's probably not something that I'm 100% worried about either. I think he will probably be a pretty good option this week, to say the least. There's a lot of wide receivers I'd play him over, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Mainly because he is a pretty good receiving back. He'll probably catch the ball 4 to 6 times today. to say the very least. And having that kind of upside in the passing game is just kind of hard to pass up on in my eyes. And that's why I have him where I have him ranked. I mean, the fact that I have him ranked in a half PPR, what, like above, who is it? Let me see here. I have him above Le'Veon Bell. Like, that in itself should tell you something, right? Like, it's not just Miles Sanders' value, it's the opportunity that a Philadelphia Eagles running back is going to get typically. That's why having the starter there is so valuable. Jonathan Paul says, Pat's defense or Steelers defense? I'm playing Steelers this week. Appreciate the donation. Did you send in another donation, Jonathan? I see 2. I just don't know what the second one is. No, it's not 2. Yeah, the first one didn't come with a message. That's what it was. Maybe is the message going to be attached? Yeah, I don't see it. Hopefully that was your question, though. If you have another one, yeah, thank you. No problem. No problemo. Okay, got a full focus on this. Give me a second, guys. I got to answer a couple more questions here on Patreon, and probably by the time I'm done with this, it'll probably be time to go. Ow. Ow. Okay, here we go. So let's do this really quickly. Let's kill that. Let's move this over. Whoa, no. That is a, okay. Why did that cell fill like that? What the heck is going on there? This is trying to sabotage me or something. It's hilarious. Okay. What the heck is going on here, huh? Mark Andrews, George Kittle. Mark Andrews, George Kittle are going to be fantastic today. I'm not even kidding, guys. It's actually going to be crazy. Josie with a donation says, I want to thank you for your fantasy football advice and your rankings. I appreciate that. Thank you for the donation. Witsit Gets It says, should I play Mike Evans or James White? I'd play James White today. I want to stay away from Mike Evans as much as I possibly can. Thanks, Coach K. No problem. AKV. Let's see here. Gurley over Diggs. I have both. That is a flex question. I really wanted to answer it. T-minus six minutes, yeah. Honestly, I don't even think I have all my lineups set. I'm going to be totally honest. I haven't looked at all my lineups. Why? I'm so busy with this kind of stuff. I haven't even had time to look. It's kind of crazy, but that's just the scenario that I'm currently in. Kind of tough, but we live with it. It's fine. Okay, let me see some stuff here. Wait, what the heck did I do? Aha, that's what I did. I was about to say, I was like, what in the heck am I doing right now? Okay. All right, let me paint. Okay, a couple more Patreon questions coming through. Okay, let's paste this. Wait, what the fuck? No. Excuse my language. File, save as. Is there anything that needs to not set? Okay, let me come back to this chat. Is there any more donations that flew through? Help Clement or Peterson? I'd probably play Corey Clement. DeAndrea. I'd probably play Corey Clement, to be honest. I'm not 100% convinced that Adrian Peterson is going to get enough work to find value. I think Kerryon Johnson's probably still the starter there, and with DeAndre Swift coming back, it probably kind of gives him more value. I think Corey Clement's decent option. I mean, if Adrian Peterson scores, I'm not surprised, but I just don't know what to do with that Lions backfield. I don't want any part of it. That's just my thought process. It's tough. 10 p.m. says standard Jonathan Taylor, Emmanuel Sanders, or Fant. Yeah, you play Jonathan Taylor in the standard, 100%. It's not even close. This save? Yeah, save. All right, cool. Where the heck is this? Okay. Let's go here. Let's go here. Gotta update a couple of this. I'm a little late, but hey, you know what? It's week 1. I'll learn. Today was quite the hectic day. Okay. Shouldn't be that big of a, it's very slight adjustments at very most. Let's see here. Marlon Mack or James White says Whitsitt get it. Whitsitt gets it. Sorry. To be honest, I'm thinking about it. Marlon Mack or James White. In a half PPR, we're leaning towards Marlon Mack. In a full PPR, we'd probably go with James White. So yeah, that's my thought process. Gabriel, what's up? Says, should I never play fantasy football again? It depends. Depends how week 1 goes, right? How well did your team do this week? I don't even know. I think you're off to a pretty good start with Clyde Edwards. You took him right in front of me at the end of the first, so I'm a little upset about that still. But if you never play fantasy football again, I don't think it'll hurt you. I think it's just a matter of how likely do you like getting pissed off on Sundays. Typically, people like to just take Sundays off and be comfortable with it. Michael says Boston Scott or Jonathan Taylor. I'm pretty sure behind me I have Boston Scott ahead of Jonathan Taylor. It's just on the screen behind me. So you can check that out. Hopefully you use it. Whether or not you do, I don't know. All right, guys. There's 404 of you left. Today was a very interesting day. 2-hour stream. I literally spent majority of the time answering donation questions. For those of you who sent those in, I really do appreciate it. I can't thank you guys enough. Those generous donations. Again, patreon.com/Andrew Kiorkof. Instead of sending in questions like that every Sunday, you can very easily find my updated rankings on Patreon. Up to date, ready to go, all that kind of jazz. Regardless, thank you guys. Thanks, Gav. I appreciate it. Mark Andrews or White in a full PPR. Or sorry, Mark Ingram or James White full PPR. Fernando, you're playing Mark Ingram, bro. 100%. Yeah. All right, guys. It's 9:59. It's gonna be a fun day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll do waiver wire talk, all that kind of stuff. Rank your pizza toppings. I wish I had time to do that. To be honest, sausage, pepperoni, ham, just throw all the meat. To be honest, I don't even mind them. I just throw a pineapple on there. Like, how can a pizza be bad? Regardless of the toppings, the pizza's gonna be good. I've never ate a bad pizza in my life. Now, some people are like New York pizza. I don't know, man. I'm terrible at accents. I'm done. I'm going to embarrass myself. Thank you, everybody, for watching. It's 10 a.m. Good luck to your lineups. Good luck this weekend. And I'll see you guys. We're going to go ahead and click out here. It's going to be a very interesting Sunday, to say the very least. And I don't think my lineups are even set. I'll see you guys.